Swung strike 3. And that'll do us for the bottom of the second. Score still 6-0 on the Surge Sports Network.
To the beginning of May to get your golf ball. Again, it's a $100 investment, and hopefully somebody here will take
And we are live, top of the third inning. We are live, top of the third inning, down 6-0. Knights are up to bat. Jacob Durant. It's a high fly ball. Mamadas calls everybody off, gets under it for out number 1.
Batting second in the third inning for Middle Georgia, right fielder Bucky McGlamry.
McGlamry has singled his last at bat. Scott
tries to bunt. Foul. 0-1, 1 out. McGlamry, the bat in the number 7 spot.
You do not have to be present to win, so if you can't make it, you still have a golf ball.
Some people don't realize that Georgia Southwestern's about to give away $25,000.
I'm excited for that, Scott. May the 10th, Providence Springs Plantation. Going to be a big fundraiser, big friend raiser. McLeod has been announcing that on the PA system. We encourage everybody to get their tickets. They're going pretty fast now as we anticipated, so go ahead and get your ticket before we sell out. We're going to have a big time out there May the 10th.
Your ticket is what?
$100.
Golf ball.
And
we'll
that gets you in. It gets you into the party, and it's going to be a shindig. We got a band. We got catering. And you can put – I would encourage you to put Keith McLeod in the referral box if you buy a ticket. He does such hard work. We're going to fine him if he don't sell so many. So I don't want to take money from McLeod.
No, of course not.
But we encourage everybody to be a part of it. Come out. Let us meet you.
Looks like Ty Turner's making him some new friends in the stands.
Ty probably brought them with him.
He may have. Ty can't come here looking like he just stepped off a GQ cover and not attract some attention, I can tell you that.
Don't worry, Carla, it's not women. It's men as usual.
Counts full. 1 out. Score 6-0. Foul ball.
I tell you what, Scott, the sun starts to go down. It still feels great out here, but it's starting to get a little chilly. Chilling a little bit on us here in Americus.
I brought me a long sleeve. Somebody done thieved my long sleeve shirt.
Oh, you're sitting on it.
Oh, am I sitting on it? Okay, good.
Oh, I threw it in the dirt.
Oh, man. How am I going to be wearing my long sleeve shirt?
Ooh. I think we hit a car there, Scott.
A lot of dogs over there, too. I was afraid we were going to hit one of them dogs. If you'd have hit one of those dogs, you'd have heard it.
You can't hurt Leader's truck.
And he'll take that forward's K right in his back pocket as he walks the long stride to the dugout. for out number 2. Number 3, Luke Parks steps in there. Parks is in the odd position for most Middle Georgia Knights. He has steps in there to bat with 2 outs and nobody on base.
Parks struck out looking his last at bat.
I'd like to thank our 40 viewers, and looks like we got 1 thumbs up so far on our broadcast on our YouTube channel. Parks hits a line drive to center field. Foster underneath it, calls for it for out number 3. Very efficient inning. And the score 6-0 going to the bottom of the 3rd on the Surge Sports Network. We are back. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Canes up to bat. Hopefully can make a dent in this lead by the Knights. Knights up 6-0 over our Canes. Up to bat.
Scott, I just got good news out of Albany. Our Lady Canes won the 2nd game, 8-7. So a clean sweep there for our Lady Canes as they won the 1st game 8-3 and the 2nd game 8-7. So congratulations, Coach Levering and ladies. Have a safe trip back.
Jacob Harrell swings high fly ball to center field. Center fielder takes about 3 steps forward for out number 1. Back to the top of the lineup, number 13, Jason Beta. Our second baseman steps in there.
And Scott, in between innings there, you saw a little slide there of our golfer of the week, Vinny, and that's his 4th time this year of the Peach Belt Golfer of the Week, 5th time in his career. So congratulations, and I tell you, I hate that we don't have an opportunity to really go watch those guys. I've seen Vinny play golf, and I've seen a lot of those guys on the team play, and we've talked about it before on air, but we have a very strong golf program. Vinny is lights out, so congratulations to Vinny again for a Peach Belt Golfer of the Week, 4th time this year.
Golf program continues to stay strong and steadily get better.
And I just got word that Vinny does lead the Peach Belt with a 71.3 71.3.38 stroke average. I'll get it right. And the golf courses these guys play, Scott? Kinderloo, they play, McKeowa, Island. They play a lot. I mean, that's just a few, but they play a lot of tough golf courses.
No par 3 courses for them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I tell you, they play from the tips, of course, and some of these courses are very, very long and, you know, very challenging. So that's a feat there to have a 7.3 out, 71.3 out.
3.8.
3.8
Stroke average.
Yeah, I about had a stroke saying it.
Beta has worked the count to 3-2. Hit a couple of foul balls on there. 1 out. Very good bat for Beta.
Beta 0 for 1 on the day, but he struck out his last at bat. Excuse me.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for out number 2. Next up for the Canes, Matthew Mamadas, our shortstop.
So Mamadas steps in. He ground out to third his last at bat.
McManus, hometown, McDonough, Georgia. Had a very decorated high school career at Ola High School. Henry County best infielder his sophomore year. Foul ball.
Long strike there. Smoked that one down the left field line off the wall foul.
All region, his sophomore, junior, and senior year, 4-year varsity starter. Holds the Ola High School record for most consecutive starts at 125 games. Had Elite 8 appearance in high school and 2 Sweet 16 appearances. Favorite movie? Step Brothers.
I love it.
Me too.
But Modest, I wonder if he ever watched. I'm sure he didn't watch him, but I'm sure he's heard of Kyle Ripken with that streak he had there at his high school.
Mamadas scooting down the line, causes an errant throw and rushed the first baseman. Going to probably score that an error, but I tell you, the hustle is what created that error. Unfortunately, there's not a category hustling causing the error. There should be, but coach remembers that for sure.
Well, I tell you what, we've talked about before, Mamadas pretty good wheels, and I tell you, when that's getting down the line, you hit the ball to short. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of time with some of these kids on Southwestern's team. They can motor down there. Speaking of motoring, Martin steps in. He's got good wheels as well.
Jonathan Martin steps in there. High fly ball. Left fielder gets it for out number 3, and we'll go to the top of the 4th inning. Middle Georgia Knights up over our Canes 6-0. Top of the 4th inning. Canes Hopefully can get a 3 up, 3 down inning and get a chance to get back at bat and start chipping away at this lead.
Burgess stands in. His first at bat, I believe he was either hit or walked. I can't remember. Nevertheless, he reached first base easy. Want to see him earn his way on this time. I'd rather see him not earn his way on, but
earn his way to the dugout, back to the dugouts when I want to say. Cole Garrett delivers. 2 balls, no strikes. Ryan, why don't you share some stories from with us, with our viewers, back when you were at Irwin County High School and some of the shenanigans that y'all did back in high school, Irwin County. Jonathan Martin's alma mater also. Line drive to Mamadas, scoops it up, out number 1.
Was that to Mamadas?
Was it, or no, was it third field, was it Jameson Wilkes?
I wasn't paying attention.
I know, we were chewing the fat, not paying attention.
Where was that ball hit? Hey, you had it right the first time.
Mamadas, okay, good. Whew. Man, I tell you, they'd have docked our pay if I'd have got that wrong.
Well, I can't speak to a lot of the shenanigans yet, Scott.
Okay, that's fine. Foul ball right back into the Canes dugout.
But there was a lot of shenanigans.
I'm sure. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Canes down 6-0 to the Middle Georgia Knights from the metropolis of Cochran, Georgia. Bleckley County, are they the Knights too? The high school team? Aren't they the Knights or something?
I think that's right.
I forget. They got the same colors that Middle Georgia. I'm trying to remember. We had them in our region in high school for a couple of years. My son played them in basketball and tennis. So we had to travel there his sophomore and junior year.
And I know Middle Georgia has merged. I forget who they merged with.
Macon State.
Macon State.
Man, I'm just see. I didn't even prepare for that.
You're full of knowledge. Well, hey, listen. You know, you got to know who you're working with.
That's
buddy.
exactly right.
I would never put you on the spot without knowing you know the answer.
Well, I'd have made it up. We got 51 people watching right now. I want to thank you. I want to thank that one viewer, whoever gave us a thumbs up, that recognizes good talent, on the air talent. We appreciate that.
Well, Mr. Mamadas gave us a thumbs up live. He hadn't checked his thumb box there on YouTube, but we'll count that as 2.
Yeah, there you go. Robbie Hanlon III from Dade City, Florida, Pasco High School, steps in there. Ball 1, high and away. Runner at first, 1 out. Coach McDonald coming out to pay a visit. We'll go for a break here on the Surge Sports Network. got a pitching change. Hayden Martin steps in there. Warms up, delivers, or gets ready to deliver to Robbie Hanlon. Hanlon got a 1-0 count. 1 out. Runner at first. Low and away. Ball 2. Counts 3-0. 1 out. Ball 4. Martin came in with 1 ball Cole Garrett had thrown and changed pitchers in the middle of the bat and threw 3 balls. And now the count runners are at first and second with 1 out.
And Scott Martin comes in today with a 8.74 ERA. He's pitched 11 and a 1/3 innings up until now this season.
Harrell puts his body in front of that one, blocks it. Blake Jackson in the bat, designated hitter from Warner Robins.
Long fly ball out to left field, Scott.
But foul. Just about 10, 15, 20, 30 yards left of the Zaxby's foul pole, FOWL pole.
And I believe this is the gentleman that I think that we found out that we think played in the Warner Robins in the Little League World Series. Probably played on a team with Fromm, Jake Fromm, quarterback at Georgia. I believe he was on that team as well.
He got a hold of that one, right field, over Barnett's head. Gets in there for a stand-up double. Blake Jackson scores one run, makes the score 7-0. Runners at second and third, 1 out. He gave that ball a ride.
Opposite field, too. He hit one about 330 feet foul down the left field line, and then he just went opposite field on a short hop defense for a stand-up double.
Number 29, Zach Cornell, left fielder.
And activity begins in the Hurricane bullpen again.
Cornell, Cartersville, Georgia. Native. .6'2", 220-pound junior, takes ball 1. I think it's time we give another winning lottery number. Hard ground ball to our second baseman, Beta. Throws it to Skelton for out number 2. Runners advance, scores another run, makes the score 8-0. Runner at third. Another winning lottery number, 22. 22.
Write these down, folks.
Yep. Because we're going to split this lottery winning. If you go out there and buy a lottery ticket, otherwise I'm going to keep it all myself. And then the Westbrook Center Press Box of Sports Excellence.
Great name.
Oh, you know.
How long have you thought about that?
About a half a second.
Boy, what a whiz.
I may come up with a better one. I win the lottery. I will be standing on the courthouse steps tomorrow morning with a list of the following people who can kiss my rear end. Otherwise, I'll be at work.
So tonight's the drawing?
Tonight's the drawing, I believe, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sleep tight.
Yep. Fly ball, center field. Foster takes about 4 steps to the right for out number 3. Not before they score 2 runs. So here we go, the bottom of the 4th, 8-0. Knights over the Canes. Here we go with our rally inning, bottom of the 4th.
Leading off the home half of the 4th inning, center fielder Hunter Foster.
Hunter Foster, our cleanup batter, center fielder, steps in there.
He was hit by a pitch his first at bat.
Fouls it away for strike number 1. I believe Rentz is still in there towing the rubber.
Only giving up 1 hit so far tonight, Scott. Pitching a pretty solid, has a pretty solid performance so far.
Ball 1 tight and inside to Foster. Foster's got a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss makes the count 1-2 to Foster. Ryan, I understand you really weren't comfortable sharing those high school stories, but share some stories back when you were a player back in the day.
Well, I'm a happily married man, Scott. I hardly think those stories would be appropriate.
I mean as a baseball player,
Oh, God. Heavens. Why would I share those? Those would be boring, Scott.
Strike 3. Foster retires to the Canes dugout. Feel free, though, to share some.
Well,
you have some of your former teammates here tonight, or no?
I don't see any in the stands tonight. I got a good. In all seriousness, I have a lot of good memories out here on this field and at this university.
Andy Moore hits a hot shot, second baseman, kind of playing to first. Yeah, shifted a little bit over towards first. For out number 2. Tyler Skelton, our first baseman, steps in there. You know, the boys have got all their walk-up music, and we've heard all the songs. I'm surprised after you and I have suggested a few songs, none of them have picked up on what we've suggested as their walk-up music.
And I don't understand that. I mean, the music we grew up on.
Or suggested that they play.
Yeah, I mean, and it is typically the music that we were used to growing up.
I suggested they play Spurs that Jingle, Jangle, Jingle by Gene Autry tonight, and they looked at me like I had 2 heads. I'm I'm like, let's mix it up a little bit now, because let's hit everybody in the stands.
Let's have some fun out here.
That's what I'm saying.
Skelton with a solid hit his last at bat.
Hot shot down the third base line. Third baseman scoops it up, fires for out number 3. And here we go to the top of the 5th inning. Knights up 8-0 on the Surge Sports Network. Here we go, the top of the 5th inning. Jacob Durant, the Knights shortstop, leads off, ready to face Hayden Martin. Hayden Martin out of River Ridge High School in Woodstock, Georgia. High school coach Scott Bradley.
Durant 1 for 2 tonight. Got a single and fly it out to Mamadas. And Scott, I've made an observation during the break. I'm not sure if Middle Georgia's celebrating early, but, you know, I don't know if you're familiar.
Line drive to Barnett, out number 1.
If you're familiar with the ballpark and our amenities here, the bathroom is in the parking lot. And I've noticed a lot of these guys are walking
a building
back and
in the parking lot, not just in the parking lot.
Yeah, there you go. Well, a building in the parking lot. We have a bathroom facility out there, and I've noticed these guys, I don't know what they're doing in the dugout, but a lot of them are having to walk to our facility out there a lot.
They go in like 2 at a time.
Hopefully they're not celebrating early.
Well, Hayden Martin out there pitching. You know what Hayden's favorite TV show is?
Give it to me.
Friends.
I think we've talked about him before.
Have we? I don't remember that.
I think so.
Favorite athlete.
Were you a big
Jones?
Friends guy?
You know, back in the day, yeah. I mean, did you know Jennifer Aniston and I were born on the exact same day?
That's about all the similarities y'all have.
Well, the years have been much kinder to her. That goes without saying. Strike 3. Martin's found a zone. Out number 2. 2 batters, 2 outs. Hayden Martin's motto he likes to live by, work harder than anybody else.
Third baseman Luke Parks.
Luke Parks, the third baseman for Middle Georgia, steps in to face Martin. Finds a hole between first and second for a single. Barnett comes up, scoops it up, fires it to Jason Beta, then to Mamadas, then back to Martin. 2 outs, runner at first. Number 9 batter, Christopher Burgess, steps in there.
Catcher Christopher Burgess.
Burgess, go ahead, I'm sorry.
He's 0 for 2 today. Well, 0 for 1 today, I'm sorry. He reached first via walk, his first at bat. Flew out to Mamadas.
Burgess, a catcher, junior, 6'1", 210 pounds, from Lithonia, Georgia. Takes ball 1.
Hallie Turner down here talking about her sorority. How many Derby days? How many did you have come back?
For alumni
That's great. Had 90 alum back visiting the campus. What sorority are you in, Hallie? Kappa Delta. Derby Days, they have a big fundraiser.
Got to give a little shout out to my son. He's Sigma Chi at Georgia Southern. He won the Balfour Award for South Georgia, which is for the outstanding Sigma Chi graduating senior. And he's winning it for the whole South Georgia district, so he'll be competing for the national.
Wow.
And the guy that won it for the North Georgia portion was a guy with the last name of Wes Brooks.
That's all right.
Who at Georgia Tech. He's at Georgia Tech. So.
Well, congratulations. I know you're proud of him.
Yeah, he is. I told him, I said, get on your horse and let's compete for that national one, see if you can get it. Ball 3, strike 1, 2 outs. Ball 4, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Leadoff batter, we get to see him again, Trent Nash.
Second baseman, Trenton Nash.
Nash is 0 for 1 today. He's reached base twice, hit by a pitch, and walked. Flew out to right.
Nash from Rex, Georgia. I believe that's in Henry County.
Lake Jackson up there?
Perhaps. I guess. Maybe so. Ball squirts away from Harrell. Runners advance second and third. In scoring position with 2 outs. Nash waits for the delivery from Martin. Martin fires high fly ball.
Scott, you look out there on the scoreboard, they got 8 runs, 6 hits. Micklig just told me 8 of their everyday starters in here are batting 300 or better. So a strong hitting team, this Middle Georgia team.
Yeah, they've had a pretty good season, and their record reflects that.
They're batting 318 as a team.
You know, that's you would normally say that's tough to maintain, especially this late in the season, but that's strong.
Which is probably evidence of their overall record of 27-8.
3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Nash stands in there to face Martin. High ball 4. Walks, the bases loaded. If I'm not mistaken, we had 2 outs with nobody on base.
I think you're right.
2 outs, bases loaded.
First baseman, Robbie Hanlon.
Robbie Hanlon, the number 2 batter. First baseman stands in there. Hanlon, the senior. Sun goes down, gets a little darker tonight. Lights been on for a while here.
And Scott, that's 9 free bases we've given these guys, and look at the scoreboard, and that equates to a lot of that. I mean, you know, so they've put up 8, we've walked 9, and walks typically come back to bite you, of course. Captain Obvious there, but I mean that's just
well, I mean that's at every level of baseball, except T-ball. One ball, 1 strike to Hanlon.
And we've talked on our broadcast before, Coach McDonald keeps up with all these free passes, whether it be arrows, base on balls, hits batter, I mean anything, of course.
Line drive, right field,
as
foul.
you mentioned, at any level, but especially at this level, especially when you're playing a good hitting team that, you know, if you give them if you give them opportunity, they're going to pounce on it.
Yeah, you can't walk a team that's batting .318 and expect to get out of a lot of tight situations and unscathed.
Scott, I want to tell my daughter Tate. Tate Young, hello. She's down at Panama City listening to us. I love you, Tate. I'm glad you tuned in to listen to this all-star cast we have up here in the booth at Americus, Georgia, on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University.
Tate will join us sometimes, occasionally in the press box, and be here at the game. I know she'd much rather be here at the game than born on Panama City.
Well, let me tell you, I'm proud of her. She made her cheerleading varsity team. She's
Awesome.
so excited. She worked very hard, and hard work pays off. I'm proud of her for doing that.
Hard hit ball to our first baseman. Skelton scoops it up for strike out number 3. Canes will come up to bat. Bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning. Canes trying to do some damage, trying to cut in this lead. Trying to get that hit count above 1. Jamison Wilkes, our number 7 batter, leading off this inning. I believe the 5th inning is when the Canes have scored the majority of their runs this season. Those of you who are watching that's a little off his hands. Falls right in between the second baseman and center fielder for a leadoff single. Jamison Wilkes. We'll take them any way we can get them. Number 29, Jeremiah Barnett, our right fielder for tonight, steps in there.
Right fielder, Jeremiah Barnett.
And Jeremiah Barnett, sophomore, 6'3", from Glenville, Georgia, Tattnall County. Oh, we had a balk? What did he do? Did he not pause, or what did he do? They called a balk. So you know what, Cole? You know what he did? He calls him. Oh, he separated his hands. Okay. Ball 1, runner at second. Thanks to a little blooper in front of the center fielder behind the second baseman and a balk.
We'll take whatever we can get at this point, Scott.
I said that just a few minutes ago while you were retrieving my pound cake order.
The things I do for you, Scott.
I appreciate it.
It's really always the other way around.
I know.
Scott always brings all the goodies and everything. He's so organized. Ty's up here bothering me about trying to get somebody's cell phone number.
Ty ain't took his jacket off yet.
He don't need to.
Ball 3, 3-0. Rentz, believe still in there pitching, has done quite well up to this inning. Hopefully we can rattle him. Ball, ooh. called strike 3 with 3-0 count. We'll
That's all right. I want to see him hit.
I don't know if we're
That's
gonna,
hard work to do, Ty. Folks
Yeah.
want to look like me.
I think
You
that'll
got to get
him.
up pretty doggone early in the morning.
Foul ball. That last called strike will get that umpire an entry into our regional eye center gift card drawing.
How many of those you think we got in the drawing so far this year?
No, I don't know.
At least a baker's dozen.
At least. Let's give another winning lottery number out. You want to?
Yeah.
27.
Great
We'll give
number.
2 out this end. 27 and 29.
Wow, that looked low to me, but too close to take right there, but that did look a tad low to me.
We are like the fortune cookie of announcers, giving out lottery
I hope
numbers.
people are writing this down.
I know. I said,
Mr. Mamatis, I don't see a pen in your hand, so you better tighten up down there.
apparently they want me to win the lottery all by myself. And they're not going to like the name I give to the press box that I'm going to build right here behind me. I'm going to get that lap band surgery I've been wanting to.
How much is the lottery?
It's about $80 million.
You better hope it ticks up a little bit.
Oh, that lap band, I can probably, get that. And
Do you play the lottery quite
I
regularly?
don't. I rarely do, actually. I just did it tonight because I figured we might need something to talk about.
Oh, and you're giving some advice to all these listeners, too.
Mick League had me go do a Mountain Dew run before the game.
Oh, so it's Mick Leagues. He was the reason you bought a lottery ticket.
I rarely pay the lottery, but let me tell you something. It is putting 2 of my kids through college right now, so I am quite happy with it.
You feel good at giving back, right?
That's exactly right.
If that helps you sleep better at night, I support you wholeheartedly.
Must be an escaped prisoner. Must be an escaped prisoner. We got a bloodhound running in front of us. Pitch gets away from the catcher Burgess.
Scored at a pass ball.
So we got a runner on third thanks to a little bloop single, a balk, and a pass ball.
Good things happen when you get on base, Scotty. And you know this, it's 8-0, but it always reminds me of that game. We were out here early one cold Sunday morning, and
third baseman fields it, looks the runner back. Throws over to Hanlon at first.
But that cold Sunday morning we were here, and who were we playing?
North Georgia.
North Georgia, and they put up an 8 spot early.
Dented our building.
That's right. And we came back to win that ball game in the 10th. So, like we always say, I mean, it's not over till it's over.
Second baseman, Jason Beta.
I'm here for the long haul. I want to apologize to the viewers if they're hearing me chew my pound cake right now. But I've essentially packed lunch, plan on staying 10 or 11 minutes tonight.
You never know with these hurricanes.
You know,
Beta, maybe Beta can see the ball a little bit better now with the lights on. I know he struck out twice, so I'm gonna give him. We're gonna blame that on the sun.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm kind of a pound cake connoisseur. I don't know if you knew that about me, Ryan.
Yeah, we had this discussion. That's fantastic. You and your daughter are gonna make a key lime pound cake.
We're gonna bring it out here. We'll do it. We'll bring it out here.
Ooh, Mick League's salivating back here.
Most people couldn't tell, can't tell by looking at me that I've had a pound cake or two in my life.
You know, we've had one opportunity when we interviewed Tucker Smith and we interviewed Coach McDonald after a good victory here at Hurricane Field, where the viewers actually had an opportunity to see us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sorry about that, but, I mean, at least some of the viewers do know what we look like. I mean, if you're from Middle Georgia, if you're supporting Middle Georgia, sorry you missed out on that opportunity.
You can probably go back in the archives on the GSW Athletics Facebook channel.
Get out.
Man. Ball's about 2-3 feet foul. That left fielder, Cornell, was on his horse. So I'm kind of glad it did maybe fall a foul. If it had been in fair territory, he might have caught that one.
Ball was slicing pretty sharply down the left field line, so Beta with another opportunity. Got Deuces Wild on the scoreboard. Maybe that's a good cash 3 number tonight.
We'll see. What's your cash 3? What do you want it to be?
I can't remember. I have 5 tickets, so I have to go back. They're scattered out everywhere. So go Beta.
Swung and drop strike 3 swinging. But he got thrown out by the catcher, and that do us for the 5th inning. Go top of the 6th. We're down 8-0 on the Surge Sports Network.
And we're back in the top of the 6th inning as Jackson steps in. He is 2 for 2 on the day, a single, a double, and he's been hit by a pitch as he looks at ball 1. Jackson, a right-handed hitter, pretty big kid.
You said you tell everybody Jared Donaldson in pitching right now.
I'm sorry, I did not.
That's okay. That's all right. I was
focused on the hitter at the time, but we do have Jared Donaldson in now on the mound. Steps in with a 9.22 ERA. He's thrown 27 1/3 innings thus far this year.
Sophomore from Albany, Georgia. Went to Terrell Academy.
As he faces a tough hitter in Jackson.
I had my headset off. I was licking my pound cake fingers.
Was it good?
It was.
Could Deborah make a mean one?
She can. That was quite moist.
She makes them fresh every game day. Goes home early, cuts it.
I mean, it was so moist, I need some sawdust in my mouth. It was so moist.
Now, that's a moist cake.
That is. I mean, if you're just driving around town and, you know, even if you don't want to come to the game, you would rather listen to us and watch at home, at least come up here and get you a piece of pound cake.
I tell you, my favorite thing to put on pound cake.
What's that?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Warm it in the microwave. If you hadn't tried that, you like peanut butter and pound cake, I highly recommend it. It's fat-free peanut butter, of course.
Well, to me, that sounds like, as a pound cake connoisseur like myself, that's like putting A1 on a steak from Angelo's.
And I don't put any sauce on my steak. That's for sure. Good point. But it does. It enhances the pound cake. But I don't make a good as pound cake as you do,
Well,
Scott.
I'm gonna tell you what, Deborah makes a pretty good one. I've been asked to leave some family reunions and not come back with one of my pound cakes because I showed up some people. But Deborah, I don't think I could show her up.
We may have to have us a pound cake cook-off here.
No, I know when I'm beat. I think I'll pass.
Jackson fouls the ball down the line to left.
I tell you who I can take in a pound cake cook-off. Them Mennonites over in Montezuma.
You wear them out.
I'm telling you, man. I went in there one time, and they got a.
No, you don't have anything against Mennonites.
No. A wonderful bakery and all that. No, I mean I love them, but I went in there, and I asked the lady.
Wow. Just a bit inside.
Yep. I asked the lady. I said, because they always have sour cream pound cakes or lemon pound cakes in there. And I asked the lady that worked in there. I said, y'all ever have any cream cheese pound cakes? And she looked at me and looked at me head to toe, and she said, "You can't tell the difference." It was all I could do to keep them coming over the counter.
Scott, hey,
I said I wouldn't be asking.
I've heard about some of those Mennonites gone bad now. You might have got whipped.
I probably would have, but I'm telling you, I can tell the difference between a sour cream and a cream cheese pound cake.
What kind does Deborah cook?
That right there is pretty much just your generic. She probably has a little bit of lemon in it, maybe a little vanilla or almond. But
so Cornell flies out to right for the first out of the inning.
Runner at first, one out.
But I tell you what, now that's a talent.
It is. It's a if you can cook a pound
but
cake, you cook anything.
The gall of her to look at you and tell you that you can't tell the difference.
She should have known by looking at me that I've had more than one.
Absolutely.
In my time.
And, don't know if you've ever eaten downtown at Cafe Cappuccino. It's Lee's down there. But, he always had something. He'd always put a sign out there or something to advertise. You never can trust a skinny chef.
That's right. Preach.
And I tell you, if you're in Americus looking for something a little different, sandwich shop, they serve sandwiches, soup, salads. At Cafe Cappuccino, of course, they sell. They have fair trade coffee.
Don't they have a turkey melt that's really good?
It's very good.
That's what I thought.
Yes, it's very good. So, encourage everybody to get by there and try it. Some of you GSW folks, I'm sure, that are looking for a new place to eat when you're here in town, that's a good place to go visit.
Right across from the Windsor, on the opposite corner of Kennebrews.
Yeah, right across from the Windsor. Across from Kennebrews, clothing store there. Go in there and shop at Kennebrews. Get you some nice duds.
Come out looking like Ty Turner. That ball is getting given a ride.
It's gone. Park's not going to hold that one, Scott.
M.J. Rookard, center fielder, waits till the sixth inning to show his power. Hits it in right field, home run. Makes the score 10-0. 10 runs. 7 hits for the Middle Georgia Knights. Rookard from Douglasville, Georgia, Douglas County. Jacob Durant.
Shortstop, Jacob Durant.
Knights shortstop steps in there to face Donaldson. Donaldson delivers, strike one.
Mike Leader has joined us here in the booth.
It's stealth.
He is very sneaky.
We've gotten 7 thumbs up today, Ryan.
Have we really?
Yep. No, you only get one per. I've already tried that. You only get one per subscriber.
I don't know who put the thumbs down, but
I'm not even acknowledging that one.
Yeah.
Jealousy will rear its ugly head from time to time.
Yeah. Hope you stay up all night.
That's it.
Hope you don't get any sleep tonight.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, somebody from Bleckley County or Cochran.
Well, they recruit all over the state.
That's true. Foul ball. 2-2.
But even though you give us a thumbs down, we do appreciate you listening. Hopefully you can replay the game tonight when you're not sleeping very well.
Ryan speaking for himself. Ryan's opinions may not represent both announcers. Line drive, right center field. My goodness, Hunter Foster caught that one.
Great play by Hunter Foster as he was on his horse.
Yep.
Lays out for that one.
Hunter Foster's decided he is going to wait till the 6th inning and really showcase his talent too. He's always hustling. They gave him one. I thought it was going to drop. Hunter got on his horse and got over there and got underneath and caught it.
We've said it many, many times. A lot of speed in that outfield for the Hurricanes.
Line drive, back to Hunter Foster. Single with 2 outs. Bucky McGlamry from Crawfordville, Florida, stands at first base after that single from Wakula High School. Junior, 5'10", 185 pounds.
You know, to use a term that I've heard Mike Leader use lately, these boys can rake. They can hit the ball very well.
Well, batting .318 as a team, that's nothing to shake a stick at. Got timeout on the field. 10 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Middle Georgia Knights. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Canes. Top of the 6th inning. Luke Parks up to bat, third baseman for the Knights. High fly ball. Jamison Wilkes gets under it, calls for it, and catches it right on the third base line, short of the grass, for out number 3. Canes coming up to bat, bottom of the 6th, down 10-0 on the Surge Sports Network. I got a good feeling about this bottom of the 6th inning. Let's see if we got 11 runs in us.
Hitting off the home half of the 6th inning.
Second batter, Matthew Mamadas. Leads off the inning.
Mamadas grounded out to third, reached on an error, his last at bat.
Takes ball one, makes the count 1-1.
Didn't mean to, but
I don't think he went. I think he just rotated his hips.
I tell you, I've umpired, a couple of times in my life, and at first base, really, if it's borderline, that's a tough call to make.
Yeah. And score 10-0. Umpires ready to go to the house. They get called more for calling. They get paid more for calling balls and strikes and outs than they do balls and safe. So you may not be getting the benefit of the doubt here either. Line drive.
That a boy, Mamadas.
Mamadas, that one right there will roll to the fence. At least a stand-up double. Stops at second. You know what? From our lips to God's ears, I told him this is going to be a rally inning. Here we go.
There you go, Scott. That may be the spark we needed.
Now, it could be. Jonathan Martin, left fielder. Normally we see him at right field. Steps in there.
Left fielder Jonathan Martin.
Is Rent still in there pitching? Number 13, is he still pitching?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Hard to take him out when we ain't had but 3 hits. But I tell you what, you look at somebody like Mamadas. Mamadas is always – he's a tough out every time he's at the plate. I always puts the ball in play, hustles. I like Mamadas as a great 2-hole hitter in my opinion.
Called strike one on Jonathan Martin. Runner at second. Nobody out. Oh and 2 to Martin.
Scott got some exciting news in the athletic department, and got some exciting news in our athletic department in the women's basketball. We have hired a new coach, and we'll be holding a press conference, I believe, April the 15th to announce our new coach.
Well, for whoever it is, I'm glad, but I think that's a very tacky way of telling me I didn't get the job.
Well, we're just trying to break it to you however we can, Scott.
Y'all could have done that and let me know that between innings. Because I did. I submitted an application, never got an interview, so I figured the process was still going on. Two balls, 2 strikes. Jonathan Martin.
But needless to say, you see Mike Leader walking around here always on the telephone. That cat's always working. Him and Micklig run a real close race as far as who does the most work around here.
Right.
And I'm being funny, but a lot of our coaches and
scoops that one. Right,
staff,
left center, left fielder calls for it and gets it.
In the athletic department, those guys are hustling. Our new women's basketball coach, I will give this tidbit before the press conference.
All right, go.
He is from Nicholls State University.
Okay.
So I think Nicholls State, he has been a part. I think those ladies out there have been to the tournament since he's been helping out there. This is his first head coaching job, but I think he's, from what little I do know, I think he's helped carry those ladies out there to the tournament before. So coming in with not head coaching experience, but plenty of coaching experience and a lot of success.
Look forward to meeting him and see what he does next season. I'm not going to hold a grudge. I'm going to support him.
Please do.
Even though I was passed over for the job.
There's no way that was a strike.
That'll give him 3 entries into the Regional Eye Center gift card drawing.
I mean, that was
That wasn't
at
close.
his ankles and off the plate, it looked like to me. That wasn't even close to a strike.
Hard ground ball to the third baseman. Parks feeds it over to Hanlon for out number 2. Runner stays at second. Mamadas on second from a leadoff stand-up double to left center field. Rolled all the way to the fence. Andy Moore up to bat.
Andy Moore.
You notice the shortstop and the second baseman shift hard to the right.
They do shift over, and last at bat, Moore did hit it to the second baseman. So he's grounded out to second, flew out to right. See if we can't mix in a hit this at bat.
Call strike 1. Something straight back up the middle over the pitcher's head or just to the right of him, and Andy could run for a while.
Well, the outfield, in left field, they've got him shifted over towards center. Center looks to be almost straight away.
He's splitting the 2 infielders, so
He tried to give it a look the other way. That's going to go out of play.
going to hit the top of. I thought it was going to hit the top of the dugout. Hit just behind Kane's dugout. After this inning, we'll give another lottery possibly winning lottery number.
Oh, I don't think it's possible. I think it's a lock.
Well, you know,
I saw Mr. Mamadas get up between innings a while ago, and I think he went to get a pen.
I like to keep this just between me and you and the 46 listeners and viewers we have right now. But if I won that lottery, it would change my life.
I hope it would change mine too, Scott.
We would run some shenanigans. I can tell you that. I tell you, I would have a posse. I can promise you that. High fly ball to left field. Left fielder on his horse. I don't think he got it. He did not.
Short, yeah.
Single scores the first run of the game. Makes the score 10-1.
So a good piece of hitting there by Moore, taking the ball out to left field. I almost said it looked like he hit it. It was just a little short, but he hit it almost right to him. I thought they had him played pretty well, but just drops one in over right behind shortstop for a base hit. Good piece of hitting by Moore.
Moore gets a pinch runner. Devin Shea steps in there. Tyler Skelton, our first baseman.
So Skelton 1 for 2 on the day. He's hit 2 hard shots, one in between third and short, the other one to the third baseman.
Skelton, a 6'2 sophomore from Forsyth, Georgia, Mary Persons High School.
And Skelton lays off that first pitch again. I didn't think that was a strike either, but
this umpire suddenly ready to go to the house, even though he didn't give us the same snap back to first. Shea got back, made a sandwich before it got there.
So we got 2 folks that's going to be staying up all night tonight, we hope.
Jealousy rears its ugly head twice today. High fly ball. Right field. It fell.
Scored out a double, Scotty. That's just for that other thumbs down that we just got.
Give us some more of those. We'll hopefully keep the rally going.
I think it's based on your lottery picks is what the thumbs down could be. What do you think?
Well, we got a mound visit. I think we're going to take a break and try to do some reverse tracking to see who's giving us these thumbs down on the Surge Sports Network. Jamison Wilkes, third baseman, steps in the air after the mound visit. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. Score 10-1. Swing and a miss, strike one. Kane's got 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. Knights have 10 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. Rentz delivers. Swing and a miss by Wilkes. Strike 2, 0-2, 2 outs. Runners at second and third.
Wilkes 1 for 2 today, Scott. Flew out to second. Base hit his last at bat.
I want to remind all our viewers, subscribe to the GSW Athletics YouTube channel. Just hit that little subscribe button there to the right, and you'll be notified when the games come on. Micklig really wants us to get over to 1,000, but I mean,
we're close.
We're at 791 right now, so I'm making as many fake YouTube accounts as I can and subscribing to make his dream come true. Foul ball. Out of play.
I tell you, we're getting some pretty good camera work here tonight. I'm not sure who's on the home plate camera, but Gabriella. So she's Gabriella has taken over the helm there for the camera behind the plate, and we hope you enjoy the way this game's broadcasted to you. Bob Slinker and his crew and Keith Micklig and the athletic department's worked hard to bring this game to you the way you're viewing it here tonight.
Line drive down the right field line. That'll score, hopefully, 2. Yes, it will. Score 10-3. 2 RBI single, 2 outs. Jamison Wilkes stands at first.
Scott, just chip away.
That may do it for Rentz. I don't know. What do you think?
I
don't know where they are in the lineup. Well, it doesn't matter anyway because he's got designated hitter, so
That's
it doesn't
right.
really matter.
He's pitched a pretty good game so
he
far.
Is,
I think you try to let him get out of this inning, which they obviously are going to leave him out there. And he's had Barnett's number tonight, and they've probably made note of that in the dugout. Barnett 0 for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts.
We have some gnats flying around.
Big gnats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking forward to that when they come back to see us, Scott.
My ride is coming up behind us. I thought the game would not last as
You hadn't won the lottery yet.
Are they going to drop some golf balls on the field? This helicopter coming up behind us?
You calling another game somewhere else? You pulling
I
the
do.
Dion?
I am. The helicopter. I hope they don't try to land on the field. Foul ball.
That's right. I think that's just them doing a test run for the hailstorm, Scott. That's going to be a familiar sound May the 10th as they do fly right over the ballpark. Want to get a little glimpse of the action here on Hurricane Field, but that sound's going to be sounding off May the 10th about 7 to 8 o'clock at night.
Get those tail numbers. We'll see if that helicopter's for hire.
So Barnett trying to get it turned around here with his 3rd at bat tonight.
Ball makes the count 1-2. Jeremiah Barnett gets ready for the delivery from Rentz. Foul ball. That ball is going into the apartment parking lot, isn't it? Did it?
I lost sight of it.
I did too. 1-2. 2 outs.
So far, a little better at bat from Barnett.
That's a good eye. Good eye. Glad he took that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Braves off to a stellar start this season. I'll be at the Braves game on Friday.
No way he went around. He checked his swing. The umpire said he went around. There's no way on God's green earth that he swung the bat right there. So we're going to go
Begrudgingly
to the top of the 7th. I think the umpire's a little bit hungry. He sure looks like it, but we'll take this short break and we'll be back.
got a few defensive changes for the Canes for this top of this inning. We got pitching number 37, Perry, Georgia native, Peyton Sales. And catching now from Lowndes County High School by way of Abraham Baldwin before coming to Georgia Southwestern, number 38, Mark Felton. Christopher Burgess, number 9 batter, steps in there to lead off this inning. Catcher for the Middle Georgia Knights.
And I think our catcher and pitcher trying to get on the same page. I don't know if he can see the fingers down there, if they're going to go to go through signs a little different way here maybe, but
Ken Gustafson looks like he has retired for the evening.
He's probably going to see his brother McCracken.
Mm-hmm. Got several pooches out here tonight. Everybody observing the local leash ordinances. Umpire suddenly is not seeing strikes.
Well, and Scott, I was a little irritated with him on that last call. Of course, everybody could tell that, but there's no way he went around on that. Spilt milk, not crying, but I mean, I just think that was. I think he missed it.
Low and inside.
So, Scott, I believe our Hurricanes are on the road this weekend. Is that right, Micklick?
Yeah, Columbus State.
Just down the street there, Columbus State, as they pick up the Peach Belt play again this weekend.
Yeah, just check there's a power strip right in front of this computer. You should be able to get in there.
We're going to start charging the Middle Georgia baseball team for charging their cell phone here.
Maybe we'll get some sort of.
This Georgia Power stuff isn't for free now.
No, it didn't.
We're happy to share with those guys.
I guess.
Nice gentleman that came up here.
He did.
Not sure who it was.
Number
He
20.
probably needs to talk to us. Needs to
28.
probably
He's number 28.
maybe
Let's
call
see.
home after the game or
Cam Bailey from Louisville, Georgia.
came to charge his cell phone, Mom.
Freshman,
so he's
yeah,
probably
Mom. So
be
if he
looking
hadn't
for a
called-
phone call on the way home.
Hey, he's going to be charged. Or if his mom, or I'm going to go with probably girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know how these boys are.
Yeah, so if you're it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Keith, it don't matter.
I'm like the bad guy in wrestling. You can give me 50 thumbs down.
It don't matter.
It'll just make me meaner than a snake. I mean, I got a YouTube video with 130,000 views. It may have 2,000 thumbs down. It don't make a bill. Line drive. Ooh, man, I thought we were about to double
Hunter
him up.
Foster was trying to double him up off of first arrow with a line drive out to center field.
Yep. Number 2, Burgess scampered back. Plenty of time. Foster kept him on his toes. Robbie Hanlon
First baseman
called his name a few times tonight. Step in there, runner at first, 1 out.
He's had 4 appearances, and he's 0 for 1. He's got a sac fly. He's reached base twice via walk.
0-1. I'm gonna renew my subscription to Game Changer, and so me and you can keep Game Changer here, and we can look and see what's going on with the.
Send the bill to Micklick, will you?
I will. I can write that off, I suppose. Notice that our Auburn University at Montgomery game seemed to have the most viewers. I don't know if it has as many or more than that North Georgia comeback, but it seemed like that the folks at Montgomery, Auburn University at Montgomery, tuned in to watch that game after they went home.
It's probably all the future sports broadcasters that want to just kind of sharpen their skills a little bit, Scott. To
Probably
tune
taking
into
some
us.
of our lines, taking some of our
We need to
cliches.
copyright some of these. You may have heard me steal a line off an AT&T commercial earlier. We won't tell you exactly what that was, but
A lot of baseball fans don't watch March Madness. So. A lot of March Madness fans don't watch baseball. So there you go.
There you go.
I tell you, the Final Four, that has been a surprise in a lot of different areas. I mean, Kentucky. Now you talk about some officiating. That Kentucky and Auburn game, fly ball, center field, shortstop,
Good play,
Mamatis.
Mamatis.
Mamatis back pedal, gets right under that and catches it. Runner stays at second with 2 outs, but the Kentucky went into overtime, and they weren't even in the bonus. I mean, Auburn wasn't even in the bonus. They didn't have enough fouls going into overtime, and Kentucky was shooting a double bonus.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I think I say this, or I feel this way every year, but, this year the tournament has been phenomenal.
It's been great, yeah.
It's been very fun to watch.
Despite the officiating.
Hey, despite it. But I tell you, it has been very, very, very fun to watch. And, the SEC's made it we're in the of course I'm an SEC fan.
Mm-hmm.
Hard for me to pull for Auburn.
Bruce Pearl, easy to prove for Bruce Pearl. Where of course everybody says he did get in some trouble at Tennessee, but the man starts squalling after every game. You kind of feel sorry for.
He's a motivator.
He is motivator.
He's a great coach, regardless of his past. But he is a good coach.
Izzo's a great coach.
Yeah.
This guy at Texas Tech, he's going to be a hot item. He's going to be probably snatched up by a bigger school before too long.
Or get a pay raise.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a very, very fun March Madness. I'm looking forward to Saturday to watch some of the games.
Duke and Kentucky, with all their one-and-done players, they're going to be watching from the couch.
Yep, they are. And, we're sitting on the couch watching the game. Of course, my wife, Mandy, as these guys get upset, and she had some tears after the game. And, of course, I said, hey, look, you don't have to go in the NBA. You can come back if you want to try to win a national championship.
Come
but
back.
Hard to turn down that money. I don't blame them.
Especially when your shoes falling apart right there. And, like Zion Williamson's shoes blew out or whatever. Right.
And he don't need your numbers. He's already hit the lottery.
That's exactly right. That's right. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and finish that
I thought
off.
that was a good plug for you
That's
there,
right.
Scott.
Let me see what other lottery number winners are. We got 52 and we did 29, 52, and the Powerball will give it next inning.
I don't know if I'd share that with them. You can let them get close.
Okay. Yeah, they have to come up with their own Powerball maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll decide. If Southwestern comes back, we'll share the Powerball.
Yeah, there you go. That'll keep them tuned in.
Glued to their YouTube channel. Called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Paul just kind of squirts away from him. Felton retrieves it, holds the runner at second.
Jackson, 2 for 2 on the night. Very tough hitter at the plate.
Peyton delivers. Pass ball. Runner advances to third. So we got 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at third. Tight ball game at 10-3.
Hey, with these Hurricanes, you never know, buddy.
That's right. That's it. Ryan, I know you don't do Facebook, but I do. I do a good bit. I mean, you kind of.
I'm on there, but I never look at it.
That's right.
My wife kind of
tells you what's going on. Ball 4.
She kind of polices it for me.
Well, there's a recent phenomenon. It kind of was like an old John Deere bee. It's been sputtering. What do we got here? A balk?
I guess an early balk. He stepped on the rubber, I guess, and separated his hands.
Put his hand in his mouth or something? I don't know.
He separated his hands, I think, by stepping on the rubber. And
just because he called a balk on them don't mean he has to call one on us. I don't believe Peyton believe I think he don't think that he balked. So, but that gets a 11th run across the plate. Scores 11-3. But you don't do Facebook. But let me tell you, this little recent thing that's going on with these. I know you don't do it, but these women, they get on there and they put makeup on at night and film themselves do it, and they're trying to peddle makeup. It's the darndest thing I've ever seen.
But you tuned into it.
No, I don't. I scroll past it. I don't want to see. I mean, I don't watch my own wife put on her makeup. Why don't I watch somebody else put on the makeup? And, I mean, it'd be like I'm going to show somebody shaving. I'm going to shave my ears tonight on Facebook. I mean, come on now.
People may tune into that. I would, Scott. I want to know how you do it.
Well, let's just say a weed eater's involved occasionally.
Oh, wow.
But
that is that's ridiculous.
It is.
Are they selling makeup?
They're peddling, yeah. I mean, I don't know, some sort of snake oil or war paint that they peddling on there.
Yeah, we got Shabrika right here. Maybe Shabrika.
Shabrika, have you seen people do that on Facebook?
You don't
put
get
makeup
on Facebook and put.
You don't have Facebook.
She's smart.
Let me ask Hallie. Do you do Facebook very often? Why do these girls start putting on makeup at night and like wanting people to watch them put on makeup?
Oh, to sell to their business, like the shampoo thing.
They're selling shampoo. You mean they're washing their hair? Am I missing that? So now they're washing their hair. I don't get to see the videos of folks washing their hair.
Would
but
you tune into that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess so. Probably take what it's worth and multiply it by the zip code and, sell it to their friends. But this putting the makeup on the Facebook, though, that ain't what I tune Facebook on to look at people putting makeup on. Line drive, center field. Runner comes in to score. Makes the score 12-3. Foster fields it cleanly, but runner at second was on his horse. Two outs. Runner at first.
The crazy things you see on Facebook, Scott.
It is. MJ Rookard steps in there.
Rookard homered his last time, so need to be careful here.
But I can't grasp that. I mean, Hallie, do you buy any of that makeup they peddle on there? Do you do it? You don't? Okay, so it's, well, actually, you don't need to.
Of course, you don't need to.
And that's it. It goes
you or Shabrika.
That's it. Well. The far end of the table is getting a little out of hand. Somebody apparently belching ABCs, and thankfully Ryan and I are above that kind of shenanigans.
We're enough entertainment amongst ourselves that have to do that, Scott.
Brian is above it too. How about that?
No, he's not. He's below it, below the standard.
We just have an incredible staff. I tell you, Ryan. We don't know how blessed we are. We always give Mick League a shout out, but Shabrika and Brian and Hallie and Cole and Mim. Line drive, left field. Runners at first and second.
And Scott, this is their 5th plate appearance. All these hitters coming up have been up to the plate 5 times today, or will have in this appearance.
8:27 over here on your East Coast time. McDonald.
Coach McDonald's going to go to the mound to make a pitching change. And with that being said, we're going to take a short break, find out what kind of makeup Scott's wearing, and you're listening to the Surge Sports Network.
A.J. Hayes.
Pitching change. Number 16, A.J. Willie Mays Hayes.
So Hayes has pitched 31 innings this year. He comes in with a 3.19 ERA. Hayes, 23 strikeouts, 9 walks on the year. So pretty good mix there.
At the plate is shortstop.
Strikeout to walk ratio.
Durant in there has a count of 0-1. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Runners on base belong to Sales. Ball squirts away from Felton. Runners advance to second and third, both in scoring position. Durant bats in the 6th spot for the Knights.
Hayes will probably see a lot of work this weekend, I believe, Scott. So probably just sticking him out there to get a little work. Maybe try to help stop the bleeding a little bit as well. But not before he throws a wow.
I think it's pass ball.
The pass ball?
I think. What do y'all think? Pass ball. We'll score the 13th run of the game. Lucky 13 here for the Knights. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Durant 1 for 4 on tonight. He singled in the first, or his first at bat rather, and flew out to short and flew out to right field twice.
I'm going to have to put my sweatshirt on between innings.
I thought that was a blanket.
More of a parachute. I was a little optimistic when I took my T-shirt and my top off in the first 3 innings, but then, you know, I knew later on I'd have to put a top back on.
That explains the thumbs down now, Scott.
That's exact. Well, they didn't see it. It could be somebody in the stands.
No, I think it is. We got a lot of listeners. You know, we have that, if you're a Georgia fan, that Larry Munson presence. Had a boy. AJ comes in and does his job, strikes Durant out for out number 3.
Here we go. Surge Sports Network. Number 35 into pitch replaces Rents for the Knights. We don't have a 35 on the roster that they provided us. They said it. I'll get the name from Micklig.
Number 35, Jake Cooper.
Jake Cooper, number 35. Don't know where he's from. Or parts unknown, weight unknown. since we don't have a on the roster. Stone Mountain, Georgia. I'm going to guess 230, 240. Oh, you. Okay, parts unknown, weight unknown. Let's stick with that.
The plate for the Hurricanes is number 38, Mark Felton.
Felton's first appearance at the plate tonight, Scott.
Swing and a miss.
Scott, probably the best request we've ever got up here in the booth to request a song. Coach McDonald's daughter came up and given a song request. How about that?
And actually a very good, appropriate baseball song. I was going to ask for the Spurs at Jingle, Jangle, Jingle. I hope Cole plays that once before we go home tonight.
I'll have to give Cole credit. He's done pretty good tonight. I think he heeded our advice the last time. We chastised him pretty well. Apparently, he's had some people talk to him, coach him up a little bit before tonight's game. I think he's done a fabulous job DJing this game.
Well, Cole pretends like he doesn't hear me sometimes. I know he acts like he doesn't hear me when I, like, throw a request out.
He's trying to prepare for marriage.
I guess so. I guess so. He'll make somebody a good husband one day.
Not the best night Beta's had as a Hurricane. He's kind of got the hat. He's got the hat trick. He struck out all 3 times. Love to see him put one in play right here. So, Scott, I've just been told that Coach McDonald's daughter, per her request, she's going to get out there and dance. So we'll have that live for watchers or viewers to watch. Coach McDonald's daughter get out there and dance between innings.
She really likes the song Center Field.
And she really loves the song Center Field, which you and I talked off the air. I think is probably one of the best baseball songs out there today, Scott.
Yeah, but perfect. I mean, you hear it at every minor league game. You know, occasionally they'll play one at a pro game, but you know, when the minor league game is all about the entertainment between innings and the promotions and all, it's a song that you hear repeatedly.
Which Cole is learning. He's stepping up his game a little bit now. I'm telling you.
Cole, we're trying to do our best. I mean, Cole thinks I joke when I tell him I'm probably one of the best high school football PA announcers in the state.
I had never heard you, Scott, but just knowing what I know about you, there's no doubt in my mind you are.
So I try to tell him. So I say, a little peanut butter jelly time here and there. Throw that in there.
That's one of Mick League's favorites.
I
will tell you that.
When I do a high school football game and I get ready to announce a sale at the concession stand, peanut butter jelly time is my bumper song.
Here we go.
Here we go. We're going to have a little visit to the mound, so we may go for a break. We're not going to play the song just yet. We're going to do it between innings, so we'll take a little break right now.
All right, so we're back. A little short visit to the mound by Middle Georgia. McManus steps back in. McManus is 1 for 3 on tonight's game. Swung on and missed for strike 1. The count now 2-1 to McManus. McManus, as we talked through the game, is always a tough out, Scott.
He is. He came in and hit a stand-up double, lead off the inning, but just couldn't get him around, I believe. Wasn't it? Well, I forget which inning that was, but
it was his last at bat. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Some time ago.
Okay, good. That sounds perfect. Foul ball.
So Mamadas has got the count full.
Excuse me, fans.
They look to play Mamadas pretty much straight away.
My tuberculosis is flaring up.
Mamadas fouls that back to the swimming pool.
Did you ever watch the movie The Founder, Ryan? You ever see that movie?
Oh, is it on Netflix? Oh, yes, I have. It's a great movie.
It is good. You remember there's a song on that. I won't Cole to play it. The kind of on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Just Google
I'm trying
the
to.
Founder soundtrack.
Well, I did, but there's about 40 songs came up.
So Mamadas,
Go ahead.
it looked like he swung at ball 4 up in his eyes, but that's okay. Strike 3 for out number 2.
Left fielder, Jonathan Martin.
So Martin digs in. Runner on first, 2 outs. Canes trail by 10. Martin 0 for 3 for tonight.
I get my own request song in here.
We still have time.
We do. Fans, I tell you what you need to do, fans. You need to come here, game live, listen to Ryan and I when the action's going on, and DJ C. Cole between innings. And he does honor our request from time. DJ Cole, what? There you go. That'll be right. That'll work.
You know, Scott, I just glanced over and noticed something. Mix's hair's growing back. So he's really, I guess, he's kind of stayed away from Hunter Foster's.
He looked kind of an MC Hammer haircut he had.
Yeah, he did. We've seen Skelton's haircut. I'm glad these kids play baseball and wear caps. I wish
we might sell a whole
Mix
lot more.
needs to put his hat back on. Cole looks like a true DJ over there with his locks.
Cole don't let anybody without a true barber license.
Pretty pitch.
Strike 3. That was a good pitch from parts unknown, weight unknown. That'll do us for the top half of.
Everybody watch Coach McDonald's daughter. Here we go.
Here we go. Top of the 8th inning. Is that where we are? Top of the 8th? Is that right?
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
so, Scotty.
Thank you. My glasses are a little
A
failing.
stellar entertainment dancing showcase there by Lanier McDonald. Coach McDonald's young daughter. I'm guessing she's 2 years old or so, give or take. But fantastic. Good to have kids out here, and she's a sweetheart, let me tell you.
They are fun at that age, and then they become teenagers. Pinch hitter Jordan Lewis from Dallas, Georgia, 5'9", 207 pound, and a mosquito just bit me on my hand. 207-pound sophomore from Alatoona High School steps in there. He's got a 0-2 count on him.
Who's he hitting for, Scott?
I have no idea. For number 5, you said? He is hitting for Montgomery, who was in the 7th spot. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Luke Parks, the third baseman from Perry, steps in there with 1 out. Nobody on base.
Good start for Morgan Bell.
Go, Bill.
Called strike 1 on Montgomery.
Scott, I'm looking forward to a Roman oven
Parks. Yes.
sandwich after the game.
Me too. Me too. We have been personally invited to the
Athletic department.
yeah, sandwich. You know, like I say, they throw us a bone every once in a while. They get us these super cool shirts, cool hats. A lot of perks to our job.
A lot of perks.
Don't like to brag. And now we're getting Roman oven sandwiches. I just don't know what's over the next horizon for us.
You know, the only thing that can make it better is if Southwestern comes back and wins this ball game.
That's it. Well, we better get on our horse because we got 6 more outs to do it. Swing and a miss, foul tip out.
So Bell has made his presence known with 2 strikeouts back-to-back.
Morgan Bell's telling Coach McDonald, hey, I told you to put me in earlier.
What in the world?
Pitcher number 40, Morgan Bell. At the plate, catcher Christopher Burgess.
Christopher Burgess, the number 9 batter, steps in there with 2 outs. Nobody on base. The mosquito's eating you up.
No.
Oh, you over here, what, you got Tourette's?
Sometime it shows up.
I thought the mosquito, man, one bit me right on the back of my hand. Called strike 1.
They find the bigger targets.
The sweeter one. That's what they do.
I'm sour.
Yeah, I guess so. They figure I can spare a little bit of blood.
Boy.
Strike
Bell.
2.
Bell putting on a clinic out there so far. We're getting a lot of requests from the athletic director.
I would
these
not have
days.
thought. I would have not picked Mike Leader as a Taylor Swift fan.
He is. He's a big Taylor Swift fan. And I've told you, you didn't notice about Mike Leader when he used to bounce in his early days.
Fly ball, right field. Looks like Barnett's got it for out number 3. So here comes the Hurricanes, bottom half of the 8th. Player's going to play. All right, here we go. All right. Bottom of the 8th. Tight game. 13
What appropriate song.
Shake it off.
So all we need to do is shake it off and get this thing started.
Hunter Foster.
Hunter Foster steps in there. Hits it to the shortstop. Backhands it. Fires over to first for out number 1. That's just some showboating right there, brother.
Good play by the shortstop there. Foster's got great wheels, deep in the hole at short. Good arm, good throw for out number 1.
Durant, shortstop. First baseman Hanlon, unless they've changed.
26 is going to be batting for GSW.
Okay. Got a pinch hitter, number 26 for Georgia Southwestern, Devin Shea. Sophomore from Sacramento, California. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. When I say outside corner, in the other batter box.
Number 26, Devin Shea.
I bet it's like Baby Shark.
That's all right. Whatever you're playing.
He's about to play Spurs That Jingle, Jangle, Jingle. That's what he's about to play. 13-3. Ball 1, 2 strikes, 1 out to Shea. 2-2. High.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit high. Middle Georgia needs to enjoy games like these because in a couple of years, I got a prediction they're going to be on the receiving end of it.
I think they will be. Make a note.
And, yep, go ahead and mark my word. The night before I won the big lottery, I made the prediction that times they are changing in Americus, Georgia.
Times are. Speaking of times are changing, Scott, I don't know if I should say this on air or not, but I'm going to anyway. You know, I'm sporting a new pair of underwear, and I'm going to tell you what, these things are about as comfortable as I've ever had. They're called Pair of Thieves. Don't know if you've ever heard of them, but, buddy, I'm going to tell you something. These things make me feel free.
A new sponsor? Is it a new sponsor?
Could be. I'm trying to throw a plug out there for them.
And it's called what now?
Pair of Thieves.
I have seen those. They mainly deal in animal skin prints, don't they?
And now they own my body.
Okay, all right. You never struck me as more of a bikini thong person, but I
I'll tell you what.
That's
highly recommend them.
Where might you find these?
I don't know. My
Belts?
wife, you could probably start there. It'd be a good start.
Ground ball. Look at there.
Misplayed by the first baseman. That's what you get for hustling down the line, never giving up. Skelton hustles down the line.
Kids, pay attention to that play right there. So many other folks might have just took a play off and lollygagged down and said, hey, man. But they didn't realize we had Bucky Dent playing at first base tonight.
Bucky Dent or Buckner?
Was it Buckner? Or was it, I thought, no, Bucky Dent played for the Yankees. Bill Buckner played for the Mets.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Yes, okay. Well.
You know who hit that ball through Buckner's legs?
No, tell me who.
Mookie Wilson.
Was it really?
Yep.
How about that? I didn't know that.
A friend of Buddy Goose was on that team, Ray Knight.
Oh, yeah.
He was on that team. I think Ray scored that run.
Oh, wow. Let me tell you something. The first baseman for Middle Georgia's had a phenomenal night, and we were just picking at him. I mean, Middle Georgia's taking us to the woodshed tonight, so they got to allow us a little
leeway.
A little leeway, a little cutting the fool action, That's
And let me tell you, I saw the Braves play the other night, and they were playing the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Cubs are our president here at the university. That's his team.
Mm-hmm.
Ball was hit to the first baseman, and I believe it was our catcher for the Braves, Brian McCann.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of mishandled it. The pitcher was covering first. He threw it in the dugout for a double. So I texted Neil and didn't get a real nice response back, but
bet
he
not.
could have been uglier. But Neil tends to he gets on his teams pretty hard. He did that with the Cowboys. They ended up turning it around. So I think that was his intentions, trying to motivate his Cubs team. So my point is, it happens to the best of
them.
us.
Oh yeah. You ever been to Wrigley Field?
I have.
That's
I
pretty neat.
sat out in the bleachers and watched the game there and enjoyed it.
I've been in Wrigley and I've been in Fenway. I like Fenway
Been
better.
to
than Wrigley.
Fenway as well.
I like Fenway better. Which one do you like better?
We'll
We'll do it next minute. Next minute. That's it. Strive 3. Top of the night. We'll talk about this top of the night.
And we're back to the top of the ninth inning. We have a pinch hitter up, number 7. We'll get that for you. Scott's looking.
Kyle Luger, he's a pitcher from Embry-Riddle, transfer from the Aeronautics University. 6 foot, 205-pound junior.
And Scott, between innings, we had the opposing pitcher's, starting pitcher's mom come up here. Seems to be a fantastic lady. She doesn't have many opportunities, I don't think it sounds like, to get to watch her son pitch. He pitched one heck of a game against Georgia Southwestern. And
all the way from Sparks, Georgia.
Yep. And we were talking before we went off, Scott, between my favorite field, Wrigley and Fenway. I have to lean a little more towards. I mean, the fans are. I don't think you can really. I think they're probably equal fans. But I think I enjoyed Wrigley a little more. I mean, there's no jumbo. There wasn't a jumbotron there. I don't even think they got one now. They may have one now. I can't remember. But let me tell you, we sat out, and we could have sat anywhere. But my dad asked. He said, where you want to sit? And I said, let's sit out there in the bleachers and get some beer spilled on us and have a good time. And I'm going to tell you, and that's back before the Cubs started turning it on a little bit. Packed house, great experience, and those fans are crazy. They're great. And I think that's what did it. I mean, of course, Fenway's I had better seats in Fenway. I got tickets from the coach now. A friend of mine played with him at Florida State, Kevin Cash. So we sat behind home plate in Fenway. So, but, I took a tour of Fenway too, and, just two fabulous ballparks. And I hope they don't do anything with either one of them. Great ballparks.
I remember when they put lights at Fenway and people were thinking that it was just sacrilegious, But
one thing I know about Fenway, if you pay attention, to the green monster down there, and you look down at the bottom of the wall and you see some dots, that's Morse code. And I forget what it's saying, but I took the tour of the park, and I think it's the guys' names. I may be wrong, but I think it's the guys' names who keep the score out there.
How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if you look down in there, you'll see some dots in this Morse code for
whoever's back there flipping the numbers.
And you see the Sitco station behind there, and the old gentleman. He was an older guy, been around Fenway forever and a day, but he said that and I forgot what hitter he was talking about, probably Manny at the time, but they said, you see, they put that back there, see it go.
How about that? Yeah.
But, you're sitting in Fenway, you could be sitting behind a pole.
Yeah, you can be obstructed. Yeah, when you buy tickets on StubHub or something like that, they're supposed to tell you if you've got an obstructed view. And of course, nowadays you can get online and look and even see what the view is from your general area of your seat, not necessarily your seat. But there's websites that'll show you from the exact seat. It's pretty neat. Yeah. But we foul ball. Oh man, I thought I was gonna get it.
But
anyway.
Great fans, and to sit in the monster out there, they do a lottery to get those tickets. In Boston, so they have a lottery, and if you get those tickets, and there's 4 tickets, and when you hit them, you got to buy all 4.
That's right.
They
kind of like Masters tickets almost.
Yeah, great fans, and I've always said, if I was fortunate enough back in the day to play for any major league team, of course, whether you like them or not, just to play for them, the Yankees, of course, are up there. The Red Sox, the Cubs, even St. Louis. I mean, just great baseball towns, and great sports cities.
We went to the I went to a Red Sox Yankees game at Fenway, and I'm gonna tell you, Ryan, that was the first rated R baseball game I've ever been to in my life. I'll tell you, those fans. I mean, it makes an SEC game between like Auburn and Alabama or Georgia and Auburn. It makes it look like a family reunion.
Ridiculous.
I'm telling you, I mean, it's just in their lexicon to use foul language, and I mean that's their culture. If they want to do it, then that's fine. I mean, I think that most people from that part of the country will admit that's just the way it is. But you take a little kid that spent their whole life out here in Middle or South Georgia, and I took my son up there when he was 12 years old, and he heard it was a back and forth game, and the Red Sox
not virgin ears anymore.
No, and the people that sat in front of us were Yankee fans, and they thought it. Of course, I had on Red Sox gear, but they could tell after I said the first 2 or 3 words that I wasn't from Boston, and they thought it was pretty neat that we just came up there just for the game. So we talked to them, but it was back and forth, and went into extra innings, and Kevin Youkilis hit a walk-off home run to win the game. Wow. So it couldn't have been a better situation. But back and forth, when the Yankees would go up, the Yankees fans would stand up and scream and talk smack. And then when the Red Sox, and then one time, I'll never forget this, the guy that was sitting in front of me, he was a rather large, I mean, I'm not talking large like me, I'm talking large like he spent some time in the gym.
Like Ben Hicks large.
Yeah, Ben Hicks large, exactly like Ben Hicks large. I'm sitting there, and we're watching the game, and, of course, they're all in Yankees gear. We're in Red Sox gear, but we're just, having a big time. Well, it was a situation where the Yankees had gone ahead, and the guy in front of me had stood up and yelled to the Red Sox fan, the whole section behind me, some pretty saucy language. He sat down. He didn't know more. His rear end hit that seat till a hot dog wrapper hit him right in the back of the head.
Guarantee you.
And when he did, he came up and let a string of expletives that would make a sailor blush, and my son, just his eyes were big as dishpans, and but I tried to prepare him for it, but
I don't think you can prepare anybody for that.
So if you just realize, I think we've got there's a airline now that flies from Macon to Baltimore for $39 each way
to
now.
Watch it. Oh, hey, we ought to catch it. I mean, I'd love to go watch a game.
It's Contour Airlines. It pops up on Facebook all the time, and they always have flights. I mean, I'm sure it's one of these things they'll nickel and dime you if you want to carry a suitcase on there.
I'm sure.
But what we need to do is do a Baltimore and Washington.
I'd love to
game
watch
the
it.
same weekend. That's what we need to do.
My experience in Yankee Stadium, I didn't get a chance to go to the old Yankee Stadium, but I've gone to the new one, and I'm gonna tell you something. It's like a rock concert in there.
Yeah.
If you've never been. But I went to the Subway Series, and we sat out in the outfield with my friend Keith Shea, who I play ball with here. Anytime we go up there, he always comes over to New York. Not that I go up there a lot, but anytime I've been, he always comes over. But my wife and I, we went to the game with Keith and his girlfriend Amy and Subway Series, and we're sitting in the outfield, Scott, and I thought this guy had lost his mind. He walked in with a Red Sox hat on, and you would have thought – I thought he was going to get shot. I mean, they grabbed his hat And just like they cussed him like a sailor.
Yeah, I know.
Threw his hat around.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were just. I thought they never fought. No fists were thrown. But it was the craziest thing. And you talk about true hate.
Oh yeah.
Those two teams.
Oh yeah.
Good gosh almighty. They hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
It is terrible. And let me tell you, when I went to Fenway, Keith Shea, like I said, he's the coolest man in North America.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Boston probably 4 times. Every time I go, Keith Shea's been. He said, Ryan, I've been to Boston now 5 times. I came with my dad, and the only other time I come is when you're in Boston, and I throw up every time I come in here. He don't own a red shirt till he got introduced to the Bulldogs.
How about that?
But I actually took him to that game we went to watch. I believe they were playing Arizona, the Red Sox were, and he couldn't believe the seats we had. Anyway, him being a big sports fan, and he gets it as we draw a walk here, but
Morgan Bell's accommodating our stories with letting these walks.
yeah. But anyway, he comes over there, and I said, now, Keith, do me a favor. I'm not – and Keith's a cop. And I said, Keith, just do me a favor. Don't wear any Yankee gear, man. I don't want to go through all that crap. So he did oblige me with that, but, he gave him some heck. But he enjoyed it. He thanked me for it, and but we had a good time in Fenway. But I'm going to tell you, if you've never been to one of those games like you said, you talk about true hate. If you can ever get tickets to a Red Sox-Yankee game,
oh my goodness,
which I've never attended, but you go.
Yeah.
And if you got small children, you may want to leave them at home.
That's the truth. That's the truth, because it is rated R. I'm telling you, let me tell you what happened. We sat down. When we sat down, we set our seats, and lo and behold, on our same row, the next seat beside us was a guy with the University of Georgia T-shirt on. And I looked at him. I said, "What?" And we told him where we were. His wife was from Athens. He was from Boston, but his wife was from Athens. He said his in-laws have season tickets, so they go to Georgia games all the time. That's why he had a Georgia T-shirt on. And when that string of expletives came out of that Yankees family, he started hollering at the people behind him. He saw it was myself and my buddy and my son and my buddy's daughter, who was probably 15 at the time. He leaned over. That guy did lean over. The guy that was from Boston, who had his wife was from Athens. He leaned over and said, "Not all you New Englanders talk like this." Well, he might have said that, but he sure didn't have me a believer, because I'm telling you, it was pretty rough that night.
Yeah, good times if you're a baseball fan and you have the opportunity to go to any of those traditional stadiums, those old stadiums, a lot of history there. And, of course, I guarantee you wouldn't be disappointed at all. No matter what the outcome is of the game, it's just a great experience. I tell you, you talked about Kevin Euclid. So when we sat there, I was sitting beside the lady who managed his foundation. And, of course, I was trying to get some I talked to her about the Bozoff scholarship.
Yeah, right.
And actually called her a couple times. So we made friends with her, but never could get anything out of him. I'm not sure his foundation, of course. I can't remember what his foundation was about. But
it could have specialized in one particular thing.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was. But we had a very, very good time. And crazy enough, I was working for Synovus at the time.
That backwards K.
And I know we're getting lost here in La La Land telling our stories, but I hope our listeners appreciate it. But anyway, I was working for Synovus at the time when I went to Boston, and did your mom ever teach you to always look presentable and no matter where you are, Scott?
Right.
Well, come to find out, we're in the airport coming home. Richard Anthony was the CEO of Synovus. I had never met Richard Anthony, but I'll be dog. I'm in banking school at the time in Athens. You had to go through. It's a 3-year program. You go for a week out of the year, and I won't bore you with those details. But anyway, I was sitting there studying for banking school in the airport, and I look up. Mandy kept asking me, "Why do you keep staring at that man?" And I said, "Well, I think that's Richard Anthony." She said, "Who is Richard Anthony?" He's CEO of Synovus. And so I go over there and introduce myself. I said, "Mr. Anthony, you don't know me, but I work for you in Americus, and it's a pleasure meeting you." Just he was flying. This is the time banking was getting kind of rough, but I looked like a throwaway child, and I had to go over there and do it anyway. But introduced myself. The man was flying. He sat behind. He was sitting way back there in the airplane, but he had taken his son to the game that night, the previous night. But my point being, you need to always look presentable. Listen to your mother. You never know who you're going to meet. I apologize for the way I looked. I hadn't shaved in about 3 or 4 days. Of course, I probably look like I do now. I don't try to dress for success a whole lot like Ty Turner, but
not many of us do.
But I say that. Look, listen to your mom out there, guys. She won't steer you wrong.
We at least have clean underwear on, don't we?
And pair of thieves, a
Yes, yes.
great pair of underwear.
We got the bases loaded. 1 out. Down by 10 runs.
Is this a pinch hitter? Who is this?
This is the guy that roped us.
Oh, yes, he did.
We don't have any room for him to put him on base. MJ Rookard steps in there.
I do have a lot of good stories about the Atlanta Braves now. Every World Series I went to, they won the game. Of course, they never won the series when I went, but let me tell you how long ago it was. Everybody, some of these younger guys probably know who Miley Cyrus was, or is rather.
Hannah Montana.
Who's her dad?
Billy Ray.
Billy Ray Cyrus sang the national anthem when I was there. I think they were playing Toronto.
Did you have a tear in your eye?
I did.
I
And
know.
look, we had jam-up seats. He came out with cutoff. It was a black T-shirt. I still have one for going. That the Braves have for going to the World Series. He came out and cut off. He had cut them off and sang the national anthem. And the seats we were in, you could almost kiss Bobby Cox. They were good seats.
Well, I can throw that dress for success talk. You just throw it out the window now. The achy breaky heart goes out there and sings the national anthem in a cut-off T-shirt.
He was a successful singer though at the time.
I guess
Was he a one-hit wonder? Achy break your heart. Did he ever have any more?
He had another one that was not quite as big a hit, but he had another one. I don't remember what it was, but
I believe that's the game.
No, we playing Spurs at Jingle Jangle Jingle.
Hey, that was the game though. If you remember, Barry
Gene
Hill.
Autry.
Barry Hill hit the game. I think the game-winning home run in the 10th inning.
Huh?
If you remember that play in
Hold
Toronto.
on 1 second. Hold on. Haley, it is not a Christmas song. She thinks Jingle Jangle Jingle is a Spurs that got Jingle Jangle. She thought that was a Christmas song.
Look, she's the offspring of Mr. Turner. So what do you expect?
We're trying to expose y'all. We're trying to broaden y'all's music genre horizons. You're a country fan? Well, you're going to love Spurs, that Jingle Jangle Jingle by Gene Autry.
What happened to your song that you had on Founder?
Never mind. We're playing another one of my songs next.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
playing another.
it's
Yeah,
cold.
Glitter.
Is that a good one?
It is a good one. You're going to like this one.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a good song.
And if you hadn't watched the movie
If I went to the gym and worked out, I'd listen to this song when I worked out. But since I don't.
What do you listen to when you're in the gym?
Whatever they play at Golden Corral. Whatever the Golden Corral soundtrack, that's what I listen to when I go to the gym. If I got to choose between IHOP, I'm going to go to Waffle House. Did y'all see a few days ago Waffle House up in Atlanta got a failing score on their health thing, and they posted it on Facebook on a bunch of Atlanta news sites, and all the comments were like, "Yes, so."
I was going to say, I bet they were packed the next day. Look,
we know what we can.
How many people eat at the Waffle House sober?
Yeah, I have never gone to Waffle House and go, I need to see y'all's health score because, that was a home run man, wasn't it?
Yep, strikes out
Swinging.
Ricard. And we've officially lost focus here, Scott.
I know. Hey, when I volunteer, you get what you pay for. I've already got the sandwich on my mind.
Waffle House.
Waffle House.
But, hey, I think you got a bunch of other thumbs up after you made that Waffle House comment.
I don't know. You know me. Thumbs up, thumbs down. That doesn't. I'm here really just pretty much to please myself.
How you doing so far?
Well, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good. I just this is my mission field.
You were born for this. You were born for this, Scott.
That's right. I do give Micklick. Hey, we didn't unplug it, man. Hey, the Middle Georgia players back up here. We didn't know it was one of your players' mamas over there unplugged your phone, brother, right behind you. I promise you. Yeah. See.
It was only about 15 minutes ago.
I answered a couple of your calls. Middle Georgia player back up here getting his phone from the charging.
Unbeknownst to him, it hadn't been charging.
I know, bless him. He is in trouble.
Hey, tell your girlfriend you'll call her tomorrow. All right, Scott. We got him right where we want him. 0-2. 2 outs.
2 outs. Bases loaded.
Bases loaded. There's a game still going on out here,
Oh,
Scott.
is there? Okay, because I got a song coming up. My request is coming up.
I think Mr. Mamadas has officially stopped listening to us.
Well, most people
my
have.
goodness.
You are kidding me. You are kidding me. Let me tell you something. I don't want us to lose.
Unfortunate right there, Scott. 0-2.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the positive thing, we threw a strike, but
Let me tell you this. I don't want to. I'm afraid that one may have put it out of reach.
I think it could be. Give me 500 on the Bandit.
I think that one may have put the game out of reach. I don't know. I mean, I don't normally give up on our boys.
Our
but
Deer Canes are now down 15-3. Middle Georgia has got 12 hits in this game.
15 runs, 2 errors. The one bright spot, we don't have any errors. Did I jinx us?
Let's hope not. But that is a bright spot. If you want to build on something, there you go.
Silver lining on this game. I tell you, the boys, you did. The boys before the game, bless them, they had to listen to some old men. You know what they got, what kind of health issues they get to look forward to about another 20 or 30 years from now. Didn't we, Ryan?
Gave them a lot of education.
We did.
We educated them very well.
If your parents, let me tell you something, your parents send your kids here to Georgia Southwestern to play baseball, let me tell you, not only are they getting education in the classroom, they're getting education from the two of us prior to games.
Yeah. Hey, for all our friendly listeners out there,
yes.
I'm sure that encourages you to want to send your young
we addressing a lot of the issues
to Georgia Southwestern.
That's right.
But we talk about the tough stuff that the parents don't want to talk about.
No, you don't want to talk about it. So we approach it, you know, kind of in a
very subtle way too.
Very subtle. We work with them. You know, when they hit 40, 45, 50, you know, they're not going to be surprised. They're just not going to be surprised. Nothing's going to creep up on them. Whether it be parenting skills,
underwear,
investments, we help them out with all of it.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
now.
and I noticed that our politicians up there wanting to start looking at taxing us on market to market. We can get into that for a little while too, if you want to.
Yeah, if anybody is still awake out there, we'll go ahead and finish you off.
Yeah,
we can finish you off right now.
Yeah, if you want me to talk to you about mark to market, we can do that too.
Why don't you read the tax code? All right, that's strike one right there.
Strike
three. I'm sorry. Here we go. Bottom of the ninth, down by just 12 runs.
Here come the
Canes. Here we go, bottom of the ninth. I know you're on the edge of your seats, Canes fans. We got a pinch hitter coming up. Number 31, Miguel Urbina.
And Scott Urbina's been plaguing a hamstring injury, but he's back healthy. I talked to him earlier. He said he feels great.
Got a new pitcher coming in. What's that number on that pitcher?
20.
Number 20. He's name unknown, weight unknown, parts unknown. Not on our roster.
So let's see, Urbina, good.
Dwight Gooden, is that what Mickley said his name
yeah,
is?
I think
Dwight
he
Gooden.
said Dwight Gooden.
Oh.
Swung on and fouled by Urbina.
There's not a 20 on my roster. Mm-hmm. He ain't on my roster, brother.
Scott,
No,
I
we're
will
good.
have to
We're
give
good.
you kudos for a nice song choice of
How about that?
off the movie Founder.
Yeah, the
Founder.
Founder.
And
That's
it's on Netflix.
it's a great movie.
I enjoy good one to watch with your kids.
A lot of it was filmed up around Griffin and Thomaston and around Georgia.
Good, solid hit by Urbina.
We're going to have to get a pinch runner in for him, though, I'm afraid, because he's a little gimpy, I'm afraid, man.
Let's not push it. He came in, did his job.
Yeah, he got a good hit. But got a good hit, man, but I don't want to – if his hamstrings hurt, I don't want to mess that up again.
I'm going to tell you, that's a nagging injury.
Second only to the groin.
Yeah, both of them are very, very tough. As we have another visitor here from the Middle Georgia staff. Is that your phone?
Okay.
Oh, you didn't want to share your charger.
Ball.
Nice young man. Not sure who that is.
I don't know. Whose phone is that?
I don't know. We got us a telephone up here, so we got a free phone if anybody wants a telephone.
That mom, I think she may have left. She may have left, man. I thought they left if that's her phone.
Well, and I'm not sure who this
Fly
is.
ball. Caught for out number 1. Urbina stays at. Tyler Adams steps in there. Pinch hitter. Tyler Adams from Ocala, Florida, Walton High School, sophomore, 6'2", infielder, bats right, throws right. Has a great walk-up song too, by the way.
Does his little shake. The women love that here in Americus.
What's that?
The little shake. You don't remember Major League?
I vaguely. I don't remember that part of it.
Oh, my gosh.
I remember. I mean, I'm 50 years old, man.
Well, that movie's old.
I barely remember what I did this morning.
But yet you remember every county in the state.
That's how it gets when you get to be old. You can remember what happened 40 years ago, but you can't remember what happened 20 minutes ago. That
So
came
if we
in my
have
AAR.
any,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
any Middle Georgia, I forget the lady's name, but she did leave her cell phone. We will take care of it. We'll probably walk it down to the Middle Georgia team and see if anybody recognizes it.
Dalton Rentz's mom. That's who it is.
Is it Dalton? Okay. She's coming back with here.
Okay. Ball. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at first, Urbina.
If I knew how to get her on her phone, I'd have us another viewer.
Then give a thumbs up.
Yeah, a thumbs up.
Yeah. Get her. Go on YouTube and log in her phone. There you go. Adams takes one off just above the knee bone. I know I'm using some medical terms you may not be used to.
Yeah, the knee bone, the patella.
Yes. The braxillator. Matthew Mamadas comes in.
Shortstop, Matthew Mamadas.
Good chance for Mamadas to pick up a couple of, or at least hopefully 1 RBI, maybe 2.
We need a 12-run hit here.
We do. Unfortunately, we can't get that many runners on at one time. We can do it 4 at the time.
Yeah, we could chip away at it that way. we better step our game up because if they come back and win this, it could be on Sports Center, and they may.
And I'm gonna go crazy.
They may feature us. So go ahead and plan. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna hand it off to you when it happens when we score the go ahead or tie and run. So you go ahead and be planning on what you're gonna say.
Oh, it's just gonna be so spontaneous, and
No,
I'm gonna speak right from the heart.
No, if we're gonna be on Sports Center now, you gotta bring your A game.
Even Stuart Scott would, if he was still around, he would appreciate my call.
Okay, well, good.
So
well,
you don't
ready.
worry about that.
Be ready.
It'll be Stuart Scott worthy.
Be ready because I've given you plenty of warning. Plenty of warning.
Ooh. Boy, that fooled McManus bad. He that ball must have broke 3 feet. McManus kind of flinched a little bit, thought it was coming at him, and fell right in the strike zone for strike 3.
Jonathan Martin.
Left fielder, Jonathan.
You know, I would like to walk up song Big John for him.
See, I know.
Big Bad John, that'd
boys,
be a great one.
I tell you what they need to do. We need to have
We're
a
meeting with
night.
them. I'm setting up a meeting.
No, we'll do it at sandwiches tonight. Ground ball, second baseman, and that is out number 3. Well,
so, Scott, a tough night for the Hurricanes here.
It is.
One positive note, our Lady Hurricanes did sweep Albany State with softball, but we fall short here against Middle Georgia for the second time this season. And
I'm thinking what I was about to say before that hit is we need to have a night where you and I pick out their walk-up songs. And they don't know it till they start to go at the bat.
I think that'd be fantastic.
That would be a good little promotion night we do.
Yeah. Want to remind all our listeners to follow our Hurricanes this weekend as they take on Columbus in a Peach Belt contest.
In Columbus?
In Columbus, right down the road. So we thank you for tuning in to today's game. For Scott Westbrook and Ryan Young, we're signing off the Surge Sports Network.